The knowledge of good and evil suddenly weighed heavily on him. Along with the events of the previous night, it squeezed the last remaining drowsiness from his brain. Whatever had possessed him. He tossed the shorts in an accusatory arc onto the bed and walked through to the bathroom. Griessel lifted the toilet lid angrily, aimed, and peed. Suddenly she was on the tar of Signal Hill Road and spotted the woman and dog 100 meters to the left. Her mouth shaped a cry, 2 words, but her voice was lost in the rasping of her breath. She ran towards the woman and her dog. It was big, a ridgeback. The woman looked about 60, white, with a large pink sun hat, a walking stick, and a small bag on her back. The dog was unsettled now. Maybe it smelled her fear, sensed the panic inside her. Her soles slapped on the tar as she slowed. She stopped 3 meters from them. "Help me," said the girl. Her accent was strong. "What's wrong?" There was concern in the woman's eyes. She stepped back. The dog growled and strained on the lead to get closer to the girl. "They're going to kill me." The woman looked around in fear. "But there's nobody." The girl looked over her shoulder. "They're coming!" Then she took the measure of the woman and dog and knew they wouldn't make any difference. Not here on the open slope of the mountain. Not against them. She would put them all in danger. "Call the police! Please, just call the police!" she said and ran again, slowly at first, her body reluctant. The dog lunged forward and barked once. The woman pulled back on the lead. "But why?" "Please," she said and jogged, feet dragging down the tar road towards Table Mountain. "Just call the police!" She looked back once, about 70 paces on. The woman was still standing there, bewildered, frozen to the spot. Benny Griessel flushed the toilet and wondered why he hadn't seen last night coming. He hadn't gone looking for it. It had just happened. Jesus. He shouldn't feel so guilty. He was only human after all. But he was married. If you could call it a marriage. Separate beds, separate tables, and separate homes. Damn it all. Anna couldn't have everything. She couldn't throw him out of his own house and expect him to support 2 households, expect him to be sober for 6 fucking months, and celibate on top of that. At least he was sober. 156 days now. More than 5 months of struggling against the bottle day after day, hour after hour, till now. God, Anna must never hear about last night. Not now. Less than a month before his term of exile was served. The punishment for his drinking. If Anna found out, he was fucked. All the struggle and suffering for nothing. He sighed and stood in front of the mirrored cabinet to brush his teeth, had a good look at himself. Greying at the temples, wrinkles at the corner of his eyes, the Slavic features. He had never been much of an oil painting. He opened the cabinet and took out toothbrush and toothpaste. Whatever had she seen in him, that Bella? There had been a moment last night when he wondered if she was sleeping with him because she felt sorry for him, but he had been too aroused, too bloody grateful for her soft voice and big breasts, and her mouth. Jesus, that mouth. He had a thing about mouths. That's where the trouble had started. No, it had begun with Lisa Birkman, but like Anna would believe that. Jesus. Benny Griessel brushed his teeth hurriedly and urgently. Then he jumped under the shower and opened the taps on full, so he could wash all the accusing scents from his body. It wasn't a berchi. Griessel's heart skipped a beat as he climbed over the spiked railings of the church wall and saw the girl lying there. The running shoes, khaki shorts, orange camisole, and the shape of her arms and legs told him she was young. She reminded him of his daughter. He walked down the narrow tarmac path, past tall palms and pine trees and a yellow notice board, strictly authorized, cars only, at owner's own risk, to the spot just left of the pretty grey church, where, on the same tar, she lay stretched out. He looked up at the perfect morning, bright, with hardly any wind, just a faint breeze bearing fresh sea scents up the mountain. It was not a time to die. Vusi stood beside her with Thick and Thin from forensics, a police photographer, and 3 men in SAPS uniform. Behind Griessel's back on the Long Street pavement there were more uniforms, at least 4.